Check, 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 check. Good. Check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, check. Check, check. Can you give him a little talk in your mic, ma'am?
Testing, testing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now you have a
Is he-
camera
is he-
here. You have a camera here. You have a camera here. This one's on you
Wow.
directly.
Okay.
That's on you from behind.
Okay.
This here is on everything, and that's
Wow.
on you.
Hey,
We're gonna get you out there.
You got 4 cameras of
We're
it.
gonna get you out there. We got Uncle STL in the house, you know. Passionate for these kind of topics. Huh? You sure can? Yeah, you can. You can. You can. You can. You can. I mean, we're here on Miss Wright's time, so
Now,
wherever you go or have you.
Hey family, how you doing? Hey family, how you doing? I'm Coffey, Wright, and I'm here at the Choice Restaurant and Lounge. It is a beautiful place. If you haven't been here, please take time to stop in and check them out. They serve food, drinks, and of course fresh coffee. So
We're
again,
drinking it with Miss Coffee Wright.
thank you. And I'm here with the new management. It's under new management now, right?
It is.
Okay. And what's the address here?
3265 South Jefferson.
That's 3265 South Jefferson. 3265 South Jefferson, family. Right at the corner of Jefferson and Utah.
Yeah.
When I say fresh coffee, I'm saying fresh coffee. So family, thank you all for tuning in. We're about to start an interview. So have any questions, just put them in the comments. Otherwise, share this video as you're watching. We want everyone to come on, we want everyone to see. And this is the big push, family. We're down to how many days before the election now?
Oh man, how many? Oh.
3 days, family.
2 days.
3 days.
2 days.
Well, today is Saturday, right? So election's on Tuesday. Yeah, 3 days, and we'll be expecting you to get out and vote and hope that we can get your vote. So please spread the word and make sure you take at least 10 people to the polls. Make sure, I know 10 can't fit in your car, I get it. But if you could just make sure that 10 of your family and friends get out and vote, that would be a big help, family. So without further ado, I'm going to shut up and let the interview start. Okay, once again, I'm at the Choice Restaurant at the corner of Jefferson and Utah. Family, come on out. Pay them a visit. They got a lot of great things going, a lot of great food, great music, and great wine and great coffee.
So, as always, I like to give our honor and recognition before I do anything in my life to the elements that make things happen. And right now, should I call you Coffee or Mr. Wright?
I'm Coffee.
Coffee, because of you, because of the choice, because of Miss Carla and Mr. Miguel, because of Encore STL, it's making it possible. So again, I'm humbled. It's a privilege to have you here.
Thank you.
I think we're making history.
Thank you.
I think we will make history.
Thank you.
And, you know, the position you're running for, I think the community need to hear more of what's inside of you, and not just commercially you, organically, authentically Coffey. Who are you? So my first question to you is I will start off and say, who is Coffey Wright? Oh, I'm sorry, who is Miss Carla Coffey Wright?
You know, first of all, I just want to thank God, and I want to thank everyone for supporting me. Also, would love for you to be in my live. Is there any way we can add you to my video? Because I mean, you look so professional, and the audience are saying, "Who is that voice?" Can we?
I mean, you can back it up, but they won't hear you as good. But if they go to Tavon Brooks' Facebook page, then they can see it live with the quality sound.
Okay.
I mean, you can push it back if you want to.
Okay. There we go. I'll scoot up a little bit if that's okay. Okay. There you go.
Hello, everyone.
All righty. Okay. And so I hope I didn't mess up, but can we start over again?
You see what happened when you have a person so passionate about the community. She does the social media. She's talking. She does everything her own. So we're going to get you a lot of help.
Thank you.
So, for those of you who would like to know, my name is Tavon Brooks. I am co-owner, new owner of the Choice Restaurant as of a month and a half ago. That's right, you want to do that for you?
Okay, you go ahead and introduce yourself.
The reason why, I'm Tavon Brooks again, and one of the reasons why I asked to interview you, Ms. Wright, is because I ran for alderman in my neighborhood. And me running for alderman, I was able to see things behind the scenes that affect our community politically. I wasn't in agreement to everything, but anyone that takes the stand to run for a political position or an elected position, it takes courage. Whatever their intentions are, it takes courage because you have to have a different mindset to be able to be adaptable to many different ideas, opinions, views. So, and you're running for United States Senate. So it's a little bit more bigger than the alderman. So I'm sure you have a story to tell. And again, who is Carla Coffey Wright?
Well,
Hey, we'll do that for you. Yeah.
Okay, get that back. Excuse us for 1 second, family. We having a little technical difficulty, and again, thank you all for tuning in this Saturday morning. We're at the Choice Restaurant, located at the corner of Jefferson and Utah. And this social media is very helpful, but sometimes it can be a little complicated. So we just I want to get my phone going as well, and I hope I didn't log out, did I? Oh my goodness. I apologize, family. I think I hit the wrong button on my cell phone, and I really want all the viewers to be able to catch this. So give us a couple more seconds, and we'll be getting started. But thanks again, family. I'm Carla Coffey Wright. I'm on the ballot for United States Senate. Election is Tuesday, August the 2nd. That's this Tuesday, family. And this is a very, very important election. A lot of times, many people don't show up for the primary election, but we need everyone to show up and show out. We need everyone to bring friends and family, tell your neighbors, tell all your contacts in your cell phone, share it with your contacts on social media, because we most definitely have to make sure that we participate in this election Tuesday, August the 2nd, family. What's at stake here? It's very serious because we have to gain more seats in the Senate. That's a must, family. We have to. This 50-50 is not working. We have to gain at least 2 more Democrats in the Senate, and I need to be one of them. Why do I need to be one? Because I am you. I live the life that most of you live. I am your mother, I am your sister, I am your aunt, your niece, your daughter, your wife, your girlfriend. I fight for the people, have always fought for the people for decades. I continue to fight for all people, family, and it's important that we have someone in the seat who can fight for the poor people, for the working people, for the small businesses.
They locked you out.
They locked me out?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but those of you all who are looking now, those of you all, but he has you, we can actually tune into Encore STL on YouTube. Go to Encore STL, that's spelled ENCORE and you can catch the whole interview. Yeah, it locked you out. It's going to take a minute for you to get back in. So.
Okay. You said you tried too many times.
Yeah, they locked you out.
Okay.
You can share the YouTube video afterwards to your page.
Okay. Yeah, going live is nothing like the share, right? Wow. Do we have to start right now, or can we wait a second?
It's really up to you.
Okay.
But we are live on Encore
We're live
STL.
right now?
Yeah, we live
Okay.
on Encore STL. We live on.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
We'll give you a few more minutes.
Okay.
You got a few more minutes to let it. Forgive me, viewers, but we are going to get the show started soon. Technical difficulties, but in the meantime, we're here at the Choice Restaurant. We're located on 3265 South Jefferson. I want to give a huge thanks to my co-owner partner, Stephanie Rivers. I also want to give a huge shout out to my team, Chef. Also, I want to say thank you to Mentors in Motion and Slate. We partner with Mentors in Motion and Slate to be able to educate our young adults, entrepreneurship, business, business management, financial literacy. So by working in a restaurant, they are able to learn all of these skills. A lot of the young adults that are sent through Slate and Mentors in Motion are from the ages of 15 and up. We now have Atiana. She's one of the hostess here for Mentors in Motion. We also have Kevin in the kitchen, formerly a chef of Sweetie Pies. Again, I'm Tavon Brooks, one of the owners of the Choice Restaurant, and I'm looking forward to an exciting interview with Ms. Coffey Wright. So give us 1 second more so she can log back into her Facebook and we can get the show on the road. Until then, enjoy Encore STL and the Choice Restaurant, and we'll be with you shortly. They did that to me once when I ran for alderman and I shared a political post. I had to upload my ID. Yeah, I did it before. And you have to make sure it's in focus.
Okay, so you just want us to go ahead and get started?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna get started. Do it again.
Can I have one of those cards too? Make sure it just have to say the address, so I know keep it in the face.
They used to say, we're not going to let nothing stop the show. And when you're at the choice, it's your choice, and we're not going to stop the show.
Alrighty.
But for those of you all who are tuning in, you are able to view the entire broadcast on Encore STL. That's spelled ENCORE STL. And you can view the whole interview, and you can share it afterwards on your page as well. So,
Okay.
how you feeling?
I feel fine. I'm just I really wanted to be able to have let my viewers come in and make their comments, but like you said, got the show must go on.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes, I believe that I read a book, Think and Grow Rich, and it had a story in it where the owner of, he was searching for diamonds, and he stopped looking for diamonds 1 foot, I said, before the gold mine. So he ended up selling his land to someone, not knowing how to search for diamonds and not knowing what a diamond looked like. He sold his land to someone else. The new owner ended up purchasing the land and dug 1 foot after he stopped, and he found the largest diamond mine on the planet.
Wow.
So it's just, I use that as whenever I encounter a challenge, let me just go a little bit more, because if something is, so you never know what can you find.
Right.
And then Denzel Washington said that if you're doing something good and the devil never challenges you, then you must be doing something for the devil. But if he challenges you, then you're doing something that's good for God. So, you're doing something good.
Well, I thank you, and I appreciate that. I have a lot of respect for Denzel. I had the opportunity to work with him, and also on several different occasions. And so I have a lot of respect for him as well as his wife, Paulette. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay. So back on scene. I'm here at the Choice Restaurant. I'm Tavon Brooks, one of the owners of the Choice Restaurant, newly owner, about a month and a half. We're honored to have you. It's a blessing to the house to have anyone that's looking to change the community. And right now, you are in a hot seat. Again, who are you?
Well, hi, family. My name is Carla Coffey Wright. I am an activist. I am an advocate for the missing, the homeless, our senior citizens, any type of injustice that anyone encounters. I some kind of way somehow end up being in the midst of it, and fighting for the underdog. So this is something that I've been doing all my life, so that's who I am. I have a degree in early childhood education. I've directed daycare centers. I also hold the highest certification in the state of Missouri in the child care field, where I can direct a center on unlimited amount of children. I previously was an insurance agent, President Club, was very successful in that, traveled to many countries. And I'm a filmmaker. I'm an independent writer. I'm 34 years union strong, Screen Actors Guild, as well as SAG-AFTRA, American Federation of Radio and Television. I'm a mother, a grandmother, and I'm the girl next door. I always say I'm everyone's mother, sister, aunt, wife, girlfriend, daughter, niece, friend, neighbor, because what's inside of me is inside of mostly everyone. And so I'm just Coffey Wright, and that's right, I said it.
It's a whole lot. So one thing that stuck out to me as being a father is you said the highest role of education. What is the highest someone can be relating to education? You said something about education.
The highest role of education?
Right. So what is that? Explain that. What does that entail?
Well, I don't know if I said the highest role of education. What I said was I hold the highest level of certification with the state of Missouri to direct a daycare center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so with that being said, some daycare centers you can only, no matter how much education you can have a PhD, but that still don't qualify you to direct a daycare center.
Okay.
You can have worked in a daycare center for 20 years, and that doesn't qualify you to direct a daycare center. So what qualifies you is a combination of education and experience.
Okay.
And so I hold enough of both to hold that certification to direct a daycare center with 99 children or more.
Okay.
So
okay.
that's an unlimited amount.
That's a lot. So, from what you just explained, running for your position now, why? Like, why? Why now?
Well, I ran actually in 2018. It was 23 people in the race. I was the only African American in the race. I had the lowest budget. My campaign budget was less than $5,000. Of that $5,000, well, of the 23 people, I came in second place. Everyone else had millions, hundreds of thousands. And like I said, I had less than $5,000. So I definitely believe that money don't win elections, people does, votes does. And so I got over 41,000 votes. So people are appreciating me because they got out and they voted for me. And I appreciate people. And so my Facebook page is open, mostly everything. I record, I normally do, I can't say mostly everything I do, I record because sometimes I do more in the course of a day than most people do in a week. And so I don't record everything. But the things that are recorded are on my Facebook page and it's open to the public. Some things are just kind of personal with the individual and I don't want to put that on recording. So if I'm helping someone do something, they may not want all their business exposed, or I don't want to just expose it. But the fights, the rallies, going into court hearings, things that everyone can benefit off of, I make sure I share that with the public and share it with the world because it's important that people realize that their situation is no different than a lot of other people's situations. Sometimes we get in bad situations and we think, why me? Why does this only happen to me? It happens to a lot of us. And a lot of times we need some suggestions, some guidance on how to deal with these situations when they happen to you. Because a lot of times people think it'll never happen to me. And you'd be surprised. It happens to you. It may happen to your family, your friends. Murphy Law is real. And so for those who think they got it all together, they better take another look at that and humble yourself because you just don't know what's coming your way. You don't know what God has in store for you. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. A lot of us are just a paycheck or a month away from being homeless, a paycheck or a month away from losing everything we have. We can work so hard to accomplish what we have and think we're, hate to use profanity, but I'll just say pissing in hot cotton. But you may be pissing in hot cotton today, family, but tomorrow all that cotton could be gone. You know, people are raining on us or pissing on us and telling us it's raining, and we have to be able to know the difference. A lot of times you work so hard, and it's not your fault when you lose what you have. Someone can just take it away from you, something that you maybe forgot. You're so busy, caught up in making sure everything is perfect that you forgot to pay your taxes. And next thing you know, your home is on an auction block. You know, your business is on an auction block. You forgot to renew your copyrights or whatever, you know, and next thing you know, someone took your logo. You know, just imagine Nike didn't do what they need to do to keep their logo. And some kid playing around on the internet discovered that, you know, and they have a right to take it. So we have to look out for everyone, family, because all lives are important. Everyone is important. It doesn't matter if you're eating red beans and rice or caviar. We all put our pants on one leg at a time. And when you get through eating, it's digested and it needs to be flushed down the toilet. It's nothing we want to save.
I got you. So, man, the more and more I speak to you, the more and more I learn a lot about you. You are powerful.
Thank you.
So a lot of the laws in the minority-owned community, specifically the Black African community, with voting rights has changed. How do you plan on changing that? Now you need your ID and all the other kind of stuff. how do you plan on changing that when a lot of folks don't have ID or come out of an institution where they can't even vote, and majority of the community has had this situation?
Well, what's happening is it's not just in the black communities. These are laws that the Senate gets to vote on. And right now, our voting rights are at risk. It went from being able to have 16 different sources of identification in order for you to vote. Now it's down to just 2 sources. That's ridiculous. Everyone doesn't have that. But it's affecting the black community, it's affecting the brown community, it's affecting the poor people, because again, everyone doesn't have the just 2 sources that they have narrowed it down to.
What's the 2 sources again?
Your government ID or passport. And so you used to be able to just show your voter's registration card.
Right.
That was enough. It come from them.
Right.
I used to be able to show a library card, a utility bill, a lease, 16 different sources. And now and again, they've narrowed it down. And so how can we change these things? Well, again, there's something called a John Lewis Voting Right Act. Now, John Lewis has passed. He's dead. We can't dig him up and bring him back. But we darn sure can put his Voters' Right Act on the table. And we can vote on that. And that will protect our voters' rights. And it will enhance our right to vote. And not only for black people, not only for brown people, not only for poor people, but for everyone. This is a national act that can be brought into law. And at this point, it's just a bill. It's a bill. The state reps passed it, the Congress passed it, but it's sitting in Senate. It's sitting on the shelf.
The John
Lewis Voting Right Act.
So can you explain a little bit about that, just for those who don't know?
It's a whole act. You would need to really just Google and look it up because it's very detailed. But what it's written to enhance and maintain our rights to vote.
Okay.
To keep, right now, things are happening like in a lot of senior buildings. They have taken the voting polls out of the buildings, and they're putting them in schools that are 10, 20 blocks away. Well, how are these seniors going to walk? They're on canes, most of them, bad health. And not all seniors have bad health, but how can they're not driving. Most of them they don't have transportation.
Right.
So how can we expect them to get to an old grade school that doesn't have an elevator? So how are they going to get up to the 2nd floor to vote? So it's discouraging. And people will say, hey, forget it. That's only one vote. But when you have hundreds of thousands of people that are saying, hey, I'm not going to vote this time, that's only one vote, that makes a big difference because every vote counts, and they're counting every vote.
Right.
So with me being in Senate, I want to put that table, I'm going to put that bill on the table. I'm going to demand that we vote on this and make it a law, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. Another thing, the George Floyd bill. We holler, we complain, we ooh-ah, our tongues drop, our eyes buck when we see unarmed people being killed by the police. Now, I know that we have a lot of good police officers, but we have some bad, rotten apples in the barrel as well. And as long as they have, herd immunity, where the police are not being held accountable for killing unarmed people, where police are policing themselves, where police get to say, did I kill that person? Did I reasonably think that their finger was a gun? Yep, I did. Well, then clear me. Basically, that's what's going on. People are not having weapons. No weapon is being found. Sometimes weapons are being put in the area. Sometimes they're discovering that, oh, that was a cell phone. Oh, that was a key. Oh, this person was asleep, Breonna Taylor. Oh, this person was running, shot in the back, Jalen Walker. Oh, we've seen it all. We've seen even people, young African Americans who are targeted mostly are the young black males, but it's happening to white males as well. It's happening to Latinos. It's happening to all of us. So white people, don't think for one moment that this can't be your son or your daughter, because this is not about black versus white. This is about rich versus poor, rich versus the working people, rich versus the small business who keep America thriving. That's who keep America thriving. It's not the rich. That's who's benefiting the most. But the people that are keeping America thriving are the poor, the working, and the small businesses.
So a lot of candidates, I don't want to call you a politician, a lot of candidates who run for office say the same thing. I hear it all the time. I'm going to do this, I'm going to change this law, I'm going to stop this. What makes your policy so different from the other ones that when you get in office, what you just said is a situation you can fix?
It's stupid. I mean, it's totally stupid for me not to do what I say I'm going to do. And I'm far from stupid. The thing is that what people have to look at, not what comes out of somebody's mouth. And like you said, I'm not a politician, but I'm willing to do the job, okay? I've been walking my talk for over 30 years, for over 3 decades, okay? I go back as far as Rodney King. So for anyone to even have the audacity to question what I'm gonna do, I question their level of intelligence, because nothing has changed. I've been doing this for free. So if I've been doing this for free, and when I say free, the pay I've been getting is the reward of seeing any type of justice. But I definitely haven't been getting paid for from the families or any program, any grant. I'm out here dedicating my time, my energy, where I could be on the beach somewhere drinking a martini. I don't have any little children running around needing Pampers, okay? I pick my day. I choose what I'm going to do each day. And that's another reason why I decided to run for United States Senate, because this position will put me in a position to change some laws, to vote on laws and policies, to create some laws and policies, okay? So somebody's going to be elected, like it or not. We are going to have another United States Senator. The question is who you want in that seat. Do you want someone in that seat who does not have the track record that I have, who don't have the receipts, okay? Or do you want somebody, who are you going to trust? Somebody who don't have the receipts, who's talking out the side of their neck, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Oh, really? Why are you going to do this? When you have a history as the people that we only hear about 2 people in this race. They even have the nerve to have a commercial saying there's only 2 people in this race. Kuntz has the nerve to say there's only 2 people in this race. A damn lie. A flat out damn lie. There's 31 people in this race. And on the Democrat ballot, there's 11 of us. And he know it.
Why do you think he would say that?
Because he want the public to believe that, because only 2 people in this race are millionaires and billionaires.
And they can afford the commercials.
So we can't put a commercial on there and say you a damn lie. We can't do that because we don't have the money. And that's the problem, is that the people with the millions of dollars and the billions of dollars keep winning the races because they can have the commercials to influence the people who don't know any better. The people that's too lazy to look up for themselves at the Board of Elections and see who's in the race. Who do we have in the race? So that's why I appreciate your platform that you allow me. I appreciate the platforms, the other independent platforms, podcasts, radio shows, whoever allow me to speak, as well as my social media, because I have to let everyone know you have a dog in the race, and I'm not a poodle. Far from a poodle family. I walk my talk. If you don't know me, get to know me. Go through my Facebook videos and you'll see who Coffey Wright is. Not by me telling you, but me showing you. By you seeing where I've been, where I go, and how I perform. That's how I get down, family. And it's not about race.
So a lot of these bills you create are going to require votes, correct?
Absolutely.
So do you feel like you have that kind of
support?
I wouldn't say support, but that kind of charisma and energy to allow others in your party to vote for your bill?
I push common sense laws, okay? And so for anyone that has common sense, anyone that is for the people,
that's pretty hard to have.
Then you vote in the right direction. Do the right thing. It doesn't matter. It's people over party. So it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican. What makes sense? Do we allow 18-year-olds to go in and buy assault weapons and go shoot up their grandmama and go shoot up 19 kids because they're pissed off? Is that a good idea? Let's get some common sense going. Yes or no? Whether you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, I think you want your family to live. I think you want your grandmama to live. I think you know that an 18-year-old can't even buy a beer. So why should he be able to buy assault weapons and without any, even with a background check? 18-year-olds, like I said, you can't even buy a beer. But you can go in and buy an assault weapon. No delay, no 1 week cool down period. You know, no background check for your mental health. Just, why would we need assault weapons anyway? That's the question. We're not at war. The real war, like I said, is the rich versus the working people, the poor, and the small business. That's the war. So we don't need assault. We don't need that type of weapons on the street. So whatever your your party affiliation is, if you have common sense, then we can communicate, because it's about negotiating. Negotiating is a win-win situation for all parties concerned. So I've been able to participate in negotiations with Republicans and Democrats. I'm part of an organization who got the Juneteenth bill passed as a national holiday. And that took negotiating from our organization. That took the Republicans and the Democrats as well to come together. And I must say, the Republicans stood up, more of them stood up before the Democrats did. And so I think America doesn't care about Republican or Democrat party per se. They're just used to and conditioned to voting in that direction. Everybody wants to be safe. Everybody wants to win. And so when it comes to the things that I'm concerned with, our voting rights, that's Republicans want the right to be able to vote as well. Democrats want the right. What's happening is it's the senators, it's the politicians that's putting everybody in this situation, that's creating this separation. It's 71 white men in the Senate, 21 white women, 2 Latinos. No, I take that back. 1 Latino, 2 Asians, and only 3 black men, not 1 black woman. So the Senate is in balance itself. So you mean to tell me out of 100 United States senators, we don't have not 1 black woman sitting at that table? And is that fair? That's not showing diversity. That's not showing inclusion. But we say, America, this is a democracy. We want peace, equity for all, equality for all. Where is it? We're not even showing equality in the political positions. 151 top powerful positions. That would be the president. 1 president, 100 United States senators, and 50 governors. How many are black? Only 3 out of 151 top powerful positions. Shot callers, only 3 black.
So if it should be more.
Absolutely.
It should be
the percentage.
It should be evenly amongst the citizens or in your neighborhood. But some believe that because we're not voting, we're not going to the polls, we're not out doing the work like how you're doing, not many of us. So how would someone select us to be in a position to be in those shot callers, you said, and we don't vote? So what can we do?
First of all, we do need to all get out and vote. But all my votes didn't come from black people. I had over 41,000 votes. A whole lot of white people voted for me. So again, it's not a black and white thing. We're 15% as African Americans. They say we're 15% of the population of the United States. So that other percentage can vote for black people as well. Again, if America want to be fair, if the citizens want to be fair, then I believe in proportionate political representation. There should be whatever percentage you are of your nationality, then you should be allowed to represent that percentage. 15% of the elected positions should be held by black people, African Americans. Whatever percentage you are an Asian, Latino, Caucasian, you should be able to represent that percentage. Right now, we are predominantly represented by rich white people. And rich white people are not the majority of the population of the United States. White people may be the majority of the population of the United States, but not rich white people. But we are overrepresented by white people. I don't have a problem with white people. I have white people in my family. But you have too much power. Be fair about it. Where's the equity for all? Where's the equality for all? We are being overlooked, and it's not right. And it's not right. And there's a lot of white people who agree with me.
So how would you mentioned America isn't fair. we can obviously see what's going on in America, but how would you, or even any other political figure going into office, go up against an entity or organization as powerful as America is and change it? It has been done, but in your position for Missouri, and we know it's a red state, how would you make that change?
I can't necessarily personally make that change, but what I can do is when other African Americans see me, first of all, why I'm not even an elected official. We have plenty black elected officials. Why haven't any of them ran for this position? Okay, Missouri has never had a black United States senator, male or female, ever, first of all. Secondly, there are only 3 African American elected United States senators. Okay, if I'm elected, that'll be 4. Someone else run, that could be 5. It started with 1.
Right.
Okay, well, let's get to 4. Then we can get to 5, and then we can make it to 15. Okay, but you got to start somewhere, and not hate on each other. Not say, oh, well, I can't push Coffey because she doesn't have a lot of money. I know Coffey's been out there. Let me see in my face out here for decades, and I've been pushing them, but they scared to push me, a lot of them, because they rather push a white billionaire that has been already documented, who she has admitted that she is the KKK queen. Been the queen since 1977, and now her daughter has been the queen of the Veil Prophet Parade, which are the KKK, since 2010. But some of them still are saying, well, she would be the best person. Why? When have she stood up for your black ass? And I hope you can beep that out, because I know that we have...
Oh, sorry. Beep. We beeped it out.
Thank you. When have she stood up for any poor working people? And her commercials state me. I'm the one worked with abused and neglected children for decades. I did it while I was in college. My degree is in early childhood education. I'm the one who took care of hospice patients, including my mother and my grandmother, for years. My mom for the last 7.5 years of her life, my grandmother for 15 years, okay? I'm the one been there. She come to a few of the debates. She videotaped it. She listened to who gets the most applause, who gets the standing ovations, which is me, not her. When she do show up, they barely clap for her. And then all of a sudden she has commercials. I'm waiting for her to jump in a tub of chocolate on her next commercial, because she's desperate and her money is buying people. So the sad part about it is, when you have African Americans, how can I fight you and the enemy at the same time? When you have African Americans who are high profile, can you someone get that? High profile, such as the president of the NAACP. I'm calling you out. In St. Louis County, John Bowen, when you have the president of the NAACP, she donated over $3,000 to them. And this Negro, I guess she must have threw in a bag of fried chicken and a couple of watermelons. Because this Negro is hauling her around to every high-dollar black person he know, asking for them to endorse her, knowing she is the queen of the KKK. Now, I'm not the only African-American in this race. We have 7. So if you don't want to vote for me, you don't want to vote for the person who has the most boots on the ground, connected with all the grassroots organization whose boots on the ground, then pick another black person. Let's be fair about it. We have black people that have more education than me. So if education is your thing, then pick somebody that just has the academic education. But we know half the stuff they teaching in these schools. we done found out Christopher Columbus didn't discover America, family. Okay? If you want a military person, if you think that's the best way to go, then we got black people in this race that has a military background. We got black people in this race that has a combination of a military background and education. My brother's in the military. My dad was in the military. Vietnam War, a wounded vet, got shell shot, dealing with mental health care. They call it PTSD now, but then they call it shell shock. Okay? So that's why I say I'm your everything. I'm your mother, your sister, your everybody, because I've experienced it all. from high risk, people that are ex-convicts, people that are still in prison, people high risk, young girls that are pregnant, all the problems and issues that we have in the community nationwide, in all the inner city communities, ain't no different from St. Louis and Kansas City, ain't no different from St. Louis and LA, and there's no different from St. Louis and Chicago. When you go to the urban areas, we all eat the same thing on Sunday. Everybody's familiar with fried chicken, greens, and macaroni and cheese. You know, we all suffering from the same health problems, high blood pressure and diabetes.
You mentioned schools, and schools are very crucial in our community. They just shut down a ton of schools in our neighborhood. How do you fix that?
I'm disappointed with that. I'm very pissed with that because I was educated in the public school system. The public school system is a strong system. It needs to be built back. We need to bring it back and bring it back stronger than what it is. We need to put the same programs that they have in the charter schools, put them in the public schools. People need to be able to walk. These children should be able to walk to their school. We walk to school every day, no matter what the weather was. And Missouri has 4 seasons. And we experienced them all. We saw from the ice and snow on the ground to the dandelions and tulips growing, okay? We saw it all. And that's a tour of nature itself. We need to open these public schools back up, not sell them to the developers, not turn them into condos and all of that. No, they need to be school homes. The same thing that you have in the rich white schools, the same thing that you have in the private schools, we need to teach that in the public schools. We need to bring them back. We are sick and tired of the public school leadership that are ignoring the public, that are ignoring the program. We have grassroots people like Tilly's Corner out there. We have Gwendolyn Coxshell. We have the Alexanders, Mr. McGill, Miss Carla, who are out here every day fighting, spending their own money, taking their own time. And these people don't even have little children in the public school system, but they're fighting for the next generation to come. They're fighting for the generation after generation after generation. Like I said, I went to public school all my life, okay? I went to public school all my life, and we had some of the best teachers in those public schools, but we didn't have the programs that the county schools have, that the rich schools. My mom put us in a high-dollar school, and we were able to learn how to play hockey and soccer. How many black kids learned playing hockey and soccer? But we were exposed to all of that, my sisters and I. But guess what? After a couple of years of that, we still begged, put us back in the public schools where all we can do is for gym, play kickball and dodgeball because they didn't have the resources. But that was we felt comfortable there. That was the environment that we wanted to be around. We didn't appreciate being only 5 black kids in the school, and 2 of them was my sister and I. Let us be with our community that we want to be with. Don't take us an hour out of our community, a half an hour bus ride, an hour bus ride. We have to get up extra early and we get in late. We should be able to be educated where we live. We pay taxes where we live. So I'm all for the public school system.
But they say what's going around that it's a money thing. That's why they're closing the schools down, because none of our children are going to the school.
Well, our children aren't going to the schools. You have a household of, say, 5 or 6 children that are of school age. And when you transport 2 of them out in the county or 2 of them to a charter school, well, what a lot of people don't realize, that money that's designated for that child to go to that school in their neighborhood is leaving the community. That is a problem. So when the money is leaving the community, the 3 children that are left in the community that have to go to that school, then that school is being neglected. That school is getting less resources. Keep your kid in your neighborhood, and then it's more money going to the schools. And also, let's look at some of these payrolls. It's a lot of people on the payroll that's making too much money. Take a cutback. Why do you? And then the ones who's doing all the work, like the teachers, should be making more money. Where's the money come from? The lottery? When they sold us this dream on the lottery, and everybody thinking I'm going to be the next millionaire. Okay, that system, I don't see that. Where's that money going? I don't see a lot of that money going into schools that we thought was going to be there. You know, so that money needs to be readjusted. It needs to be put where it needs to be. It's a lot of money. I don't know where all the money comes from and how everything, because I have a lot of knowledge on a lot of things, but I don't have 100% of knowledge on anything. That's why I'm a part of grassroots organizations who specifically specialize in everything. We have people that specialize in the education system, people that specialize in the legal system, people that specialize in the seniors, that specialize in the children. We have people that are 100% in everything. And so I can bring them in, I can talk with them, I can meet with them and say, what is your opinion on this? And I respect their opinion because they've been putting 200% in that category that I've been only putting 70 or 80%. You see what I'm saying? And that's what makes it work. So we definitely have to put more money into the public schools. We have to reopen these public schools and give our children the education that they deserve because they are the future. And it's not a cliche. They are our future. You know, and if they don't do it, if we don't empower them, that goes on to me saying, I want free college education for everyone. I want to eliminate student loan debt. Those are the type of bills that I'm going to be pushing. Those are the type of bills that I'm working on, that I'm going to vote for. Because we say we don't have the money. How in the heck we give $58 million to Ukraine? Where did that come from? What money tree did they pick that off of? Because I need one of those in my backyard, okay?
Give me one too.
Okay? And then they backed it up with $700 million, and then another $20 million. And then last week they were saying they're giving them more money. But we don't have money. What about America? What about Missouri? And that's my job, to look out for Missouri. And when I look out for Missouri, it's looking out for America, because these laws that the Senate make are nationwide.
So do you feel like you are or have the ability to connect with every level of mental state in our city? And I mean, you got the elders, you got the one under the elders, then you have the youth, and you have the babies coming up. So do you feel like you can connect with all of them? Well, actually not the babies because they're not vote, but the ones that vote on up. Do you feel like they feel like some of the elders are old school, are set in their ways, and they don't listen? So do you feel like you can connect to them?
I definitely connect with the elders. I also have a COVID testing business. And so I've gotten a chance through that. It's just, anyway, I love people, period, right? So I connect with pretty much everyone, no matter what nationality. But with the elders, with my coding testing business, I pushed for that business. I fought to have that business here in Missouri, the mouth swab. And I was going around to the seniors' buildings on a regular basis, once a week, doing free COVID testing. So I see elders all the time, and they have a lot of respect for me. And I respect our elders because I know them, know us, point blank. And a lot of them are set in their ways. And I appreciate them being set in their ways because a lot of their ways are solid. They're the ones that paved the way for us. They're the ones that got bit by dogs, beat up, raped, murdered, jailed for us to have the right to vote. And now they're taking that right. Now they're trying to, it ain't the elders taking the right, it's the politicians. It's the Supreme Court. It's the Senate. They're the ones that's messing with trying to undo what has already been done, what our elders has fought for decades. They're the ones. So the elders are not the problem. It's the politicians.
There are a lot of things you mentioned. Well, we know all the challenges in our community, the problems. What would be your first task once you get in office that you're going to complete?
Well, we have to, my first task is getting that John Lewis Voting Act passed, because without having the right to vote, nothing else means a whole lot.
Okay.
I also have to push hard. I'm voting for the filibuster to be eliminated. We have to get rid of the filibuster because that is stopping a lot of things to move forward. So we have to get rid of that.
The filibuster?
The filibuster, yeah. And so that's just blocking. It's a stall tactic that the Republicans are using very well. They have specialized in how to use that to delay any type of bills that we're trying to push. So we want to eliminate that. Also, the George Floyd bill, that's a must. And again, eliminating student loan debt, eliminating medical debt, because we can't move forward. 20 years later, 90% of student loan debt is still owed by poor people and working people. So how are we going to move forward? How are we going to get this monkey off our back if we have all these extra expenses? How can we accomplish that American dream? How can we get that house, 2 kids, a cat and a dog, when we have all these loans, his heavy student loan that's steady accumulating interest on our back? So that needs to be eliminated. Free Medicare for all. My opponent, Miss Trudy Valentine. She clearly stated, and I don't sling mud, family, I'm stating facts, okay? Clearly stated in the interview, when we were all interviewed by the Legal Women, what is it, Lancaster? The Legal Women Voters. Clearly stated that when they asked us, are you for Medicare for all? She said, no, absolutely not. That is going to cost too much money, $33 trillion. Well, it's easy for a billionaire to say no. So how could you call yourself a nurse? What kind of nurse are you? I damn sure wouldn't want you nursing on me or anybody I know. I wouldn't want you nursing on my enemy. If you sit up there saying you don't believe everyone is entitled to insurance and should have insurance, that's ridiculous. You can buy health. You can buy your life to continue, but the average person can't. So we have so many entrepreneurs who cannot afford just medical health care. Medical insurance is expensive. And you're an entrepreneur, you got your own little business, how are you supposed to pay for that? You know, you're barely trying to pay your rent. You got to, whatever your business is, you got to buy your merchandise, your products, you got to pay your workers. So where does health insurance come in? Wouldn't that be a blessing if everybody just automatically had free health insurance and the business owner didn't have to worry about providing that not only for themselves, but didn't have to provide that for their workers? That it was just here, like it is in Canada, like it is in Europe and so many other countries. And we're America the Great. What's so great about America when we're doing things like that? But she doesn't want it. They asked her about reparations. No, that has to be researched more. Really? So do you not believe that we've been held back for 400 years? Do you not believe we were the ones out there picking cotton pre-labor? Do you not believe that? Well, maybe you better do some little research on the plantation that you own called Grant's Farm. Do some research on your grandfather, Ulysses S. Grant, who you inherit that plantation from. Do some research on that. Because I think most people, without an argument, remembers and understands that black people who were kings and queens were enslaved and brought to America to work for free against their will, were murdered, were whipped and held hostage to work for free in America. And everyone else has been compensated. The Vietnamese, the Japanese, the Holocaust.
So a few words you mentioned that kind of are in my vocabulary, and when I ran for alderman, it came up a lot, reparations. How do you, how would we receive it? And do you believe that when we receive it, that will kind of solve a lot of our solutions?
It will solve some economic...
A lot of our problems.
It will solve some economic problems. Because when they say, oh, we hear that black people need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Did you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, family? Or did you inherit the wealth? White people are quick to say they need to get over it. That was a long time ago. We didn't do it. It was our ancestors, but they benefited off of their ancestors. Okay? We inherit the hardships of our ancestors, including mentality thinking we can't have this, we can't do this, and then to be seen to show us that we have to work 10 times harder to get something. So we inherit, what did we inherit as black people? So when the question was reparations, how do I see it? I see it financially, you doggone right. In the words, in the voice of Cuba Gooding Jr., show me the money.
I got you.
Okay? You pay us. That's right. You damn right. Compensate us financially because it takes money to get started. It takes money to be able to live. It takes money to start a business. It takes money. You show us the money. Also, we need free health care. We need free education. Reparations can come in a lot of different forms. So it needs to be distributed in a lot of different forms.
Okay.
You doggone right.
Okay.
And I ain't afraid to say it.
So what about, so how do you look at education once we receive the money on what to do with it? And I say that because I had a neighbor once receive his taxes about a lot of money, or even the pandemic money. And he received it, and you know he received it, new car, new this, new that, but then a few months later, they broke again.
Let me tell you something, brother. Most people that win the lottery are broke again, okay? And they say, my grandmother used to always tell me, a fool and his money will soon part. And I've learned that to be true. So of course, we need some information. We need some education. We need some instructions on how to be able to invest our money, how to be able to spend our money wise. And we have plenty of black people, and we have plenty of white people that can provide us with some information and some knowledge. It won't hurt any of us, because we never too old or too smart to be re-educated or to learn. So of course, that will be very helpful, because you don't just give someone a few $100,000 or $1 million and then expect them to be able to turn it into to turn it into 2 or 3 or make it double. So yeah, it can come with some suggestions. It can even come with some suggestive instructions. I'm not opposed to that at all. But give us what we entitled to. And that's part of the wealth of America that we created. We were, not only were we enslaved people, not only were we enslaved, but we were looked upon as property. So that means not only the wealth and the money that we made the slaveholders, the banks, they used us as property, as collateral to go get loans against us. And a lot of times we don't realize that. We use our car as collateral to go get a loan, or we use our homes as collateral to go get a loan to start our business. They use us as slaves. You go buy a slave for $100. You go buy a slave for $300 or $400. You making mothers and sons mate. If you a big mom and you got a big son, you make that son impregnate his own mama, lock him up and whip him until they establish that she's pregnant. So you can have big slaves babies. Look at all the hardship they put on us. We don't even know who all we're related to. We're all related within 6 generations. And that's bad for us to even be killing each other and the things that we do, and the ones that are hating on each other when we're each other. We're all family. That's why I always say, hey, fam, how you doing? Because I know you my family. I may have never met you. We never did the blood test. But no one's 100% in anything, fam. Right. So with that being said, yeah, we need some guidance, because traditionally in a black household, traditionally in a poor people household, traditionally even in a working person household, we don't have those discussions about this is the best way to spend your money. Mama go to check cash in place, then the kids go to check cash in place, being charged 7%. People, what they put in our community, they put other things in our community that we think is we jumping up, clicking our ankles together. They got a payday loan. You can take your car there and get $500 off of your car. Do you know my brother he worked hard. He's a trucker. He bought a Mustang, paid for it, paid his note, honestly, faithfully, ran into a little hardship, needed some money. He went to the payday loan places that white, high-dollar politician owns a lot of them, Claire McCaskill, in the black communities, in the poor communities. She owned plenty of them right here in Missouri, in St. Louis. He goes there. He borrows $5,000. His payment is $500 a month. He pays the $500 a month every month. 2 years is up. Now you have to, this loan has endowed. It's over with. You have to pay off your balance, or you're going to lose your car because you put your car up as collateral. Right. This is a Mustang Bullet, limited edition, right? This car valued at, they only made so many. So this car is worth way more than $5,000. Not to mention, I said he's a truck driver, right? So he very seldom gets to even drive this car. Less than 5,000 miles on the car, right? He goes to pay the car off, the loan off. Well, I've been paying $500 a month every month for 2 years. So guess what his balance was?
$5,000?
$5,500. $5,500 after paying $500 a month for 2 years. So he didn't have the $5,500. So then guess what? They get to take his car. So then, of course, you know, he told me about it, and he didn't expect me to pay it, but he was just, you know, stressed behind that. So then I called people, but the sad part about it is when we see someone in that jam, we got to come together, family. We cannot let them win. We cannot let the rich people win and go ahead and they take his car. You know, even if we have to put the money together and we get the car, if we have to say, well, look, you're going to have to either pay us back X amount every month, or we're going to have to sell this car, and at least you sell the car for 40 grand because it's well worth that minimum. Now, at least he'd have made some money off of it. We'd have made the money back that we gave you or we loaned you. You see what I'm saying? But we turn around and let the loan company keep the vehicle. They continue to win. See, we have to think. We have to come together. And they say black people can't never come together. That's a lie. We can come together because see if a fight break out somewhere. See what side of the fence you're going to be on. We come together at funerals. We come together for weddings. We come together for parties, for churches, or whatever. We have to come together business-wise as well, family. We have to take time and stop talking about what's happening on the cable TV show in Atlanta. All these housewives and all this stuff. They're making their money. We have to come together within our own households, within our own block, within our own neighborhood, within our own community. And we have to trust each other. We have to develop more trust for one another. We cannot say just because you're white, you're right. Well, that's a millionaire. Let them, I think they deserve to be in there because they white and they rich. That's what we're dealing with right now in the Senate race.
So how do you feel about someone saying, I support only black?
I think you should. If you're black, you should be supporting black.
Why is that?
Because we need to be recycling black dollars. That's a must. You need to be spending your money with black people. And when if that black person is falling short somewhere, then you let them know. Hey, I came into your place and the food was cold. Don't talk about them and say, I wouldn't go there because they food cold. Let them know. Ask for management and say, you know what, my food was cold. Management may not know. And then if that person say, I'm sorry, I apologize, can I give you another plate of food? And here's 2 plates, one for you and your mama. Please come back. We appreciate your business. That's good management skills, okay? But if the manager say something ignorant like, well, take it home and warm it up in the microwave, then you got another issue. We got to deal with that person. We got to pull them aside and say, look, brother, this is the way you handle business. Not go talk about them and ban people from coming there. We have to grow black businesses. We have to support each other. People say, Coffey, well, I've never met you before. I just check you out. I look you up, and I tell them, well, I was the only black person in the race, and last time I ran, that wasn't good enough for a lot of black people. Why should I vote for you? There's no black senators, no black females. 100 United States senators, not one black female sitting at the table, and you wanna point the finger at me. Why should I vote for you? Your black ass ain't running. Your mama ain't running. Who other black? If I don't do what I say I'm going to do, then vote my black ass out, okay? That's a position called recall. Vote me out, but give me the chance. Give me the opportunity. Because you want to check me out, that's fine. That's your due diligence. But all I say is check out the other 30 people in the race, too. Don't just target me because I'm black. You want to punish me because I choose to run. When I don't see your TV commercials, you're right. And I don't see your name on my donation list. So what that tell you? I don't have enough money to do TV commercials. But guess what? Because I don't have television commercials, because you never met me before, have you met any of these other people that's running? Have they even asked for your vote? Have they thought enough of you to come to the club where you are, or to come to Walmart, or to come to your establishment? Have they thought enough of you to stand on the corner and flag you down and say, hey, here's my literature. My name is Carla Coffey, Wright, and I want to let you know that I'm on the ballot for United States Senate. Have they even thought enough of you? But because they're white and because they're rich, then that's the way you want to vote.
So you make a valid point about that. When I ran, people, why should I vote for you? And where I come from, I kind of understand a whole lot, or I try to understand a whole lot, so make it easy for me to adapt to a situation. But how would you tell someone that when they turn on their TV all the time, they're always seeing the same black leaders asking for their vote now in a legal situation because they was indicted for either bribery or stealing or taking the community money, making their own clubs or whatever. So how can you connect with the people?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm so glad. First of all, like I said, I appreciate that question so much because, again, common sense, people. Damn.
But common sense.
I am not them. My name is not. My name is Carla Coffey, Wright. Okay, let's be clear on that. Okay, let's make that clear. Okay, do not hold me accountable or point the finger at me because you saw another politician do something that you don't like. You don't like what the mayor did, so you want to say, well, a black woman did this, and she's the mayor, so how I know you ain't going to do the same thing? First of all, my name is Carla Coffey, Wright. Don't hold me accountable. A black man did this. There's a whole lot of white people did a whole lot of stuff, too. Why don't you check into that? Why don't you check into Josh Hawley and Blunt, who are current United States senators, each took over $6 million from the NRA to sit quiet about reforming gun laws, okay? Why don't you check into that? When you have less than 3% of the elected positions are held by black people, when it should be at least 15%, okay? So because a few do something wrong, if only 3% are black people, that other 97%, you think they ain't did something wrong? But do you say, well, why should I vote for you? Trump did that. No, they don't never want to compare me to somebody white. They want to compare me to somebody else black, as though I'm not a separate individual. So that's ignorance on their part. And I just have to call a spade, whether you're black or white. If you want to compare me to another black person, that's stupidity on your part, bottom line, because my name is different, okay? And like I said, check my record. And if you're stupid enough to think that all black people are going to get in there and sell us out or take money to the table, I don't need a job, okay? I don't need a job. My stuff is paid for, okay? And if I'm going to take a job, I can pick a better field than something that I'm going to be criticized on, life-threatened all the time, constantly get calls from people who want me to support them and I won't, or pissed that I'm even running, that I have the audacity to even run, feeling that black people shouldn't run or a poor black lady shouldn't run or whatever the case may be. So don't be ignorant, people. I don't care what you see someone else do. When somebody does something that you don't agree with, it's a process called recall, and you get them out and you replace them. If a black person does something that you feel is wrong or unfair, they can be recalled. If a white person, they can be recalled. If you don't recall them, then I question your intelligence because you're paying their salary. They should be kissing your ring, family. I should be kissing your ring. I will be working for you. They are working for you. You're the taxpayer. You're paying their money. You don't have to kiss their ring. They should be kissing your ring. And if you're not smart enough to understand that, then I question your intelligence. Don't question my intelligence because you're not going to hold me accountable, liable, or point the finger at me or even insult my intelligence on what somebody else did because they're black and because I'm black. You're worse than the white people that are racist. You worse than the racist white people if you're a black person and you come to me sideways like that. And that's how I look at you. And if I lose your vote because I'm saying that, then so be it. Because I'm going to always be straight and I'm going to call a spade, family. I've been fighting for you, black or white. So don't come up with me. Don't push that up on me because that's not me and that is not who I am. And another thing, why don't you run, family? All of you out here listening, I challenge you, and especially if you black, why don't you run for something? You know, and the number one remark that they're gonna say is, I'm not into politics. Well, guess what? You're into politics whether you like it or not because you're a taxpayer, family. And right now, we're receiving taxation without representation. So if you want to continue receiving taxation without representation, then continue doing what you're doing or run for something or endorse somebody. Support somebody that's brave enough to stand up for you and to fight for you, and that be me.
This is right. So, what are your thoughts about, or how would you, because all of this stemmed to, I would say, us not having what we need, the resources what we need, so how would you establish jobs in our communities for our people, black or white? How would you create jobs?
They have to understand.
What kind of jobs would you try to create for our community?
Okay, let's be clear on when I'm elected into the Senate, this position, vote on laws and policies, okay? Create laws and policies. That's my primary position. How I can help towards creating jobs is vote on laws and policies that will extend jobs, that will push money in that direction, like infrastructure. We need a lot of jobs in infrastructure. The contractors, the union people, that can create jobs whether we're building freeways, repairing streets, building apartment complexes, building new business. That will create jobs, okay? People have to educate themselves and see what exactly. Don't call me, don't get pissed at me because the trash man ain't picking up your trash on Tuesday. That has nothing to do with me. That you need to contact your alderman, what you was running for, okay? He handles that, okay? I'm dealing with a whole nother set of fish to fry, okay? But I can make sure that I vote on, empower the people by the direction that I vote, keeping your safety, the George Floyd bill, holding police accountable for killing unarmed people, the John Lewis Voting Act. Make sure when you walk past that trash, you can vote on getting more trash trucks, okay? You can vote on more aldermen in your community, unlike what they just did. They cut the amount of aldermen in half, redistrict St. Louis, family, a mess, a hot mess, from 28 aldermen down to 14. 28 aldermen, each one of them had 3,500 people per ward. It was difficult for them. They complained the alderman ain't doing this, the alderman ain't doing that. You hear it all the time. Some people don't even know who their alderman is. And so some people saying, all my aldermen are doing this. Well, the alderman power is limited when you got 2,500, 3,500 people you have to satisfy. So did we need less aldermen? I don't think so. I think we needed more, but they reduced it. So this is the type of power, and that is the result of people not getting out and voting locally. So when they say they vote don't count, they didn't vote against it. It's been on the table, and people did not get out and vote. Enough black people did not get out and vote against it because they're not voting in the primary, so they were able to slide that in. Just like they're trying to slide in right now in the primary election. If we don't get out and vote, then they're sliding in, putting in another white supposed to be hero because they're rich, or another white shero because she's a billionaire. Because if the black people and the poor people don't get out and vote in the primary, which they have a record, a history of not showing up in the primary, we have a record and a history as poor people and working people to only vote in the presidential elections. And if we continue to go the way they're expecting us to go, if we continue to allow them to slide in and monopolize these politics, then we're going to continue to lose.
You mentioned a whole lot, you're saying a whole lot, and I think it's important. Everything you're saying, to me, I like to get to the core of it, understanding the why. But we don't have time for that now, but I do want to bring up a topic that is pretty much is taking precedent in our communities, the police shootings. I don't know where to start with that question, but I have a 12-year-old son, and my 12-year-old son is so outspoken. He's so intelligent to where I think he's a lawyer already, and I can see him getting it at an older age. And when he's at an older age, I can see how some can take it as, hold up, pow, pow. How would you fix that? How would you even try to bring the education or intellect or light on that to help the communities with their children? I don't think no one wants to lose their child, and no one
wants to lose their child. You say your child is real outspoken, and sometimes people look at that as a problem.
Yes.
I look at it as a plus. He needs to be outspoken, and we need to be outspoken. Maybe some adults need to take lead from him, because guess what? A closed mouth never get fed. Another cliche that my grandmother used that happens to be a fact. And the thing about it is, we got people crying that their kids can't talk, their kids won't speak up, that their kids, so when you have a child that is outspoken, that tells me he's aware, he's alert, he's paying attention, and he has something to say, and he should be able to say it. Now, when he's dealing with the police, I'm sure you have to do as most black people and as most people have to do is have that conversation on this is how you would deal with the police and authorities and this is how you don't. And that's hard, especially if he's in the right. I know as a child with me, I was always very outspoken. And when I'm right, I don't care if you're the preacher. I'm going to let you know, you're wrong about that, sir. It's that or this, that or that. I didn't do this, nope, that. I got to speak up. And so when you say he's an attorney already, he's probably an attorney in the making, going to be a hell of an attorney. And I say keep encouraging him, and because he's going to be something very powerful. And so, but I know you wary as a parent because sometimes that can lead in the wrong person he encountered could lead to not such a nice situation possibly for him. And so again, we have to put in the police minds that if you do something, if you harm a person, a regular citizen, be it child or an adult, there are going to be consequences. Right now, there are no consequences. So therefore, they don't care. What happens is when they kill us, they get famous. When they kill us, they get a 2-week off paid leave. When they kill us, they got a book deal. They got a TV show. They have a movie. They're getting famous off of our lives, as though our lives don't matter. So I say continue to make sure that 12-year-old is educated. Teach him his history, the true history, not what they're trying to take out of the schools, the critical race theory, but teach him for real history and America history, because America history is America has everything America's got, they have taken. They have enslaved people. They are used to taking from people. They're used to making people work for them. That's what America was built off of, the backs of everybody else. They took it from the Indians, and they made us build it. And that needs to be exposed. Not that we coming back for you, but so we'll know not how to get caught up in that same situation again. And so they can learn, the ones that are ashamed of it, okay, you ashamed of what your ancestors did, make it right. Make their wrong right. Don't glorify it. And maybe they can understand why we're in the position we're in. Not because we're some lazy Negroes, but because we didn't have the same opportunities that you all have. We didn't start at the same starting point. So don't expect us to end at the same finish line. Don't expect us to beat you. And the ones that do make it, then we have to realize we got to reach back. Don't think because we're ahead of most that we that unquote person, or you know what word I really want to use. We got to reach back. We have to, family. That's a must. So again, we have to continue educating our young people, empowering them with knowledge and encouraging them to really be all they can be, and for them to carry that torch. I want your son and other people's sons and daughters to take some of this leadership, take these positions. That's the energy we need.
You mentioned a lot about healthcare, and I like the idea. I lived in a country that gave healthcare for all their citizens. I don't know the exact way how they made it happen. I do know they had high taxes, but homelessness and the drug addiction that we have in America is soaring through the roof.
Yeah. We're experiencing 15 ODs a day right here in St. Louis, 15 a day. And out of 15 overdoses a day, 5 of them don't make it. That's ridiculous. This fentanyl is out of control. It's been out of control. But now that the white kids, now that the people with money, now that it's hitting the rich neighborhoods, the rich schools, the rich communities, the higher middle class, now it's an epidemic. Now it's a problem. Well, I'm glad they see it that way. And we got to do something about it. And even in our rural areas, I visit the rural areas. I've been to Sykeston and Boonsville and you name it, the Boot Hill, all up and down there. We've been to, just came from Hayti and been to Columbia, Jefferson City. Guess what? They got the same problems as Kansas City have. They have the same problems as St. Louis have. But their problems, some of their problems is meth. They got meth labs in the rural areas. But dead is dead. And we all want our loved ones to live, so we have to deal with this. We have to deal with the mental health care, because a lot of people are using these drugs to self-medicate. They're using these drugs to deal with their problems. But when they're not high, the problem still exists. But this is the way they're drinking, they're using drugs, pop a quick pill, smoke this, snort that, shoot this, shoot that. We have a mental health care crisis, and we have to address it. A lot of times when we have situations in the house, whether the kid is 12 or reverse them numbers to 21, they get out of control, they get out of hand. Now you knock them upside the head, oops, that's child abuse, you're going to jail. But you call the police, you don't know if it's going to end up with your child being dead. You ain't calling the police because you want them to lock up my 12-year-old. You're not calling the police because you want them to lock up my 21-year-old. You calling the police because you want some control. You need the situation handled. So what do? Well, the police ain't the answer all the time, family. Because guess what? Police, 18-year-old just graduated from high school. How are they going to handle your situation with your child and you've been knowing a kid all his life? We need psychiatrists. We need counselors. We need people that can get to us, that can relate without putting handcuffs on us and throwing us in jail, without pulling out guns and saying, well, the only way I can handle this situation, I need this situation to disappear, pow, pow, you're dead. That's not how we wanted it to end up. How many parents then called the police because their child, male or female, was out of control, or their spouse, male or female, they got into a domestic dispute, and then you call the police because you just want relief. Maybe we need to be able to call on Big Brother. And I ain't talking about Uncle Sam. I'm talking about J-Bo. Okay. Maybe we need to be able to call on the guy next door. Maybe we need to be able to call mental health crisis line, or someone to come, a counselor or psychiatrist, sociologist, psychiatrist, or whoever, somebody that can diffuse this situation. Maybe that's what we need to be able to call. That needs to happen, because we're not trying to end someone's life, but the police, I don't know of any crimes the police solve. The police is somebody that comes after the scene of a crime, from what I understand, from what I've seen growing up. Dead body on the ground, call the police. Somebody shooting, call the police. They didn't stop them from shooting. We called the police because they were shooting. We called the police because somebody got shot. Ain't that the way? That's the way it go in my community. I don't know about in the country you came from, brother, but that's the way it go down in the United States. Okay, you call the police when something happened. That's after the fact.
So do you agree? There's a new program where they're sending out the mental health workers, caseworkers. We the one came up with it. Who is they? We are they. They didn't. Who are they? We came up with that. We're saying this is what we want. This is what we demand. That's where voting comes in. You say this is what you want. You put it down in writing. People vote on it, and that's why we need people to vote. Okay. The police sure didn't come up with it. You think they wanted? You think they want less police officers? And when people say defund the police, I'm not saying defund the police, but we're saying let's route some of that money for mental health workers. Let's deal with some of that money for mental health care. Extra money that we're paying is just sitting and it's not being spent. Extra money that's that they're spending in ways that we don't. Okay, you ran a red light. We know the dangers of that. That cause accident. People die from accidents. We understand that. But do we need red light cameras? How about instead of red light cameras, how about mental health care? What can we take out that is not working and use some of that money and try something else that the people really want? Because it all should boil down to what the people want. See, what we have to realize, like the politicians work for us, the police work for us. We pay their salary. We the shot callers. But why do we get scared every time our kids leave the house? Keep both hands on the steering wheel. Make sure you never take your hands off. If they ask for your ID, announce what you're doing. Move really slow and ask them, sir, can I please reach into my wallet to get my ID? We seen that happen and still got shot down at close range for Dale. Shot down at close range, bullets to the head, while he's showing them his ID. We see Breonna Taylor in the bed, sleep, shot down. We see you run away from him, shot down. You couldn't even kill a dog like that. The animal rights people be all up your butt. Somebody will be going to jail. Police officers go to jail, you shoot down a dog. Didn't Vic, what's his name? Vic, the football player, Victor, what's his name again? Yeah,
Mike Vicks. He went to prison, a football player, America's favorite sport, the hero, for allowing, or for dog fights on his property, should I say. I can't even remember if he was even present at the time. do something to a dog. But what about our lives? Don't even sing me that song, Black Lives Matter, because I ain't seen it yet.
So I know this is not referring to the cases that are legitimate to what you're saying. Us getting shot down for no reason, just because. But also on the other side of it, you have the police who are citizens who are the ones who are going to vote for you. How can you ensure them that at the same time you're not trying to take away their protection, because it is a mental case. You're dealing with people who have mental issues, and now you have to go and approach this house or car, and how do you want them to feel knowing that they have to now, their life is in danger because guns are freely on the street. Mental health is an issue in our community. We're living in an environment where there's no money, no jobs. So now you want the police to come in a stressful environment and still have to handle their business, I would say, maturely. What do you say to them?
Common sense again. I don't want the police to come if it's a mental situation. I want a counselor. I want a psychiatrist. I want someone that is trained and educated how to handle with those type of situations. We don't need the police there. If you are there, step back and let the professional that's in that field do their job.
When the police
okay?
back at the last event, a bunch of children got killed, and the police...
Right, but okay, when the police step back, you're saying that, are you speaking of the school?
No, I'm just saying in general. You have police officers who say that their life is at danger.
If they out of the way, their life is not in danger. If my son and I are having a domestic, or my significant other and I are having a domestic situation, and a counselor is there to try to defuse that, then allow that counselor to do what they do. Your life is not in danger. Get the hell out the way. Step back and let this professional do what they need to do. That's what I'm saying, okay? They should be glad that they don't have to get involved in that, okay? Now, if it's a shootout or somebody holding somebody hostage, then they even have people to talk that out. They have people to deal with that, negotiators. When you're needed, then be there. But if you're not needed, let's try to handle it a different way, because the way they're handling it obviously isn't working when you're shooting unarmed people. And I say to any police officer, yeah, I want your vote. I represent you like I represent everybody else. But if you were one of those foul police officers, who are happy trigger police officer, who think just killing somebody automatically is the way to solve the problem, then I don't need your vote, because I'm not on your team. I don't need your vote, because I'm not supporting BS. I'm supporting common sense and what makes sense. And fortunately, most police officers are good officers, but the bad officers that making the good officers look bad, you need to resign. And if you're not going to resign, and if you don't want things to be fair, you don't need to be in there working for the people, because you're not for the people. You're there to protect and serve. And if you're doing anything other than that, then you need to go. You need to find a different career. And if you're that damn scary, you shouldn't be an officer anyway.
Be an officer no way. Ms. Wright,
you don't need to have a gun.
I have a question. This is a question that came in from someone, and I'm going to read it because it's kind of I like this question. How can we, the people, help you do your job once you are elected into office as U.S. Senator representing the state of Missouri? So.
Wow. Well, how you can help me do my job is support the bills and the policies that I vote on, if they mean something to you. If you don't think they'll work, you don't think they're right, then let me know. Because my job is to make life better for all of us, no matter what race you are. That's my job. That's what I want to do. The George Floyd bill, holding police accountable, I think that will make life better for everybody across the nation. And that's why I support that. The John Lewis Voting Right Act, I think that will make life better for everyone. I think everyone has the right for that. So any bill that you think, if it's a bill, if it's not even a bill yet, then what the public can do, what the citizens can do, is make it a bill. Create a bill. Voice your opinion and say, instead of saying they should do this and they should do that, let's do it. Get it started. Put it down. Let people know this is what we need. And let me know so I can push it. I want to push what the community wants, what the community needs to move forward.
How can they get in contact with you? Please
call 314-461-8187, 314-461-8187, or they can go to the website, CoffeyWrightUSSenate.com, ussenate.com. And coffee is spelled just like the beverage, COFFEEWRIGHT, US Senate, SENATE.com, family. We'd love to hear from you, and we would love to have your vote Tuesday, August the 2nd. Please, family, I need you to tell everybody, if you want me in office, because somebody's going to be elected. If you want me to be your dog in the race, not only do I need you to be sure that you go vote, but I need you to make sure all your contacts in your phone, all your social media contacts, spread this video, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever form of social media that you use, please spread it, share it in your text messages, family. We have to get the word out because this election is super, super important. We need everyone there. And again, my name is Carla Coffey Wright. I am on the ballot for United States Senate. I appreciate you, fam. We are all family. No matter what race, we are more alike than we are different. And we got to do this. We have to speak up. No more millionaires and billionaires sitting at the table representing us. Because millionaires and billionaires have rich people problems. We got working people. We have small business. And we got poor people problems, family. I'm Coffey Wright, and that's right, I said it.
Ms. Wright, I want to say thank you. It has been an honor. I've learned more about you. I'm excited even more to see what the future brings. I thank you for being here at The Choice.
Thank you.
I thank Encore STL for being here. I thank Ms. Tilly's Corner. I thank all of my other sponsors, Locks Only, also the Craft Shop. So The Choice actually came into existence from friends of mine, support my idea of quality service, and they all own businesses, grassroots businesses. Some of them are, the Craft Shop is more of a business where it takes entrepreneurs and it teaches them how to, and give them a space to create the idea physically.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Locks Only is a hair salon business out of Atlanta, of course, The Choice. But they all came together to support the community. We're all about grassroots. We're all about educating our youth on how to be entrepreneurs. So to have you here speaking on our platform in The Choice, it means something to me, you know.
Thank you.
I don't even know you like that until now, but it means a lot to me.
Thank you.
You're a powerful woman. I don't want to say the dog in the race, but the queen in the race.
Thank you.
But I thank you. I thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your passion, your vision. And I look forward for a bright future.
Thank you, and thank you again for having me here. This is a beautiful, beautiful establishment. I've eaten here several times. I've gotten the opportunity to meet Miss Lily, hear the music played by a Jazzy Fred, and it's a beautiful place. I mean, I love the hardwood floors. The food is fantastic. Of course, I'm sipping on coffee, family, and it's great. I didn't let it get a little cold running my mouth so much. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me. I hope I didn't go too long.
No, you were just right. You know.
Okay, great, because I get very passionate about questions, and if I offended anyone, you know, I can't apologize for that because I mean everything that I said, and feelings are made, you know, feelings are what they are. You know, we've happy and we have sad, but I will tell you this, everything I stand on what I say, family. I stand on it 100%, and if I took back anything, then I wouldn't be real. So I mean what I say. I mean it now, and I will mean it in Senate. I've been meaning it for decades. I'm for the people, and again, as he said, you have a queen in the race, and I will fight that battle for you.
I have one more question, and this is kind of off the subject because I am now a realtor.
Okay.
So I'm sure the realtors are watching this. Real estate will make a big impact in the community. So how will you support the realtors?
Oh, I love the realtors. Hey, you know, I haven't done any investing in a while, but I've invested in real estate in the past. I believe, you know, they say real estate is an investment. I say real estate, an investment is a win or lose. See, when you invest in, you may win, you may lose, you don't know how it's going to turn out. Real estate is not an investment. Real estate is a guarantee, family. Mm-hmm. People always need somewhere to live. You can never go wrong with real estate. And so I say right on to my real estate and the realtors, to my real estate constituents, to the realtors, because people always need somewhere to live, and you're doing a great thing, especially with so many people being homeless. And I'm not saying that all realtors are even accommodating the homeless, but if you don't accommodate people, they will be homeless because everybody have to have somewhere to live, no matter what their status is. So thumbs up to the realtors, family. Keep doing what you're doing. We need more living facilities, and we need nice, decent living facilities. So Thank you so much. I appreciate
so
you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey, Facebook fam. I don't know if you're still rolling. Are we still rolling or we're done? Okay. Hey, Facebook fam. Thank you all for tuning in. Sorry I couldn't go live on my page where you all could see this directly. Facebook is playing games right now. That always happens, fam. But again, I will be sharing this on my page, and I hope you share it on your page, family. Thank you all for tuning in. You've heard my views. I think we covered quite a bit. So if you don't know me by now, you will never, never, never know me. Okay.
On camera.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, baby. If you don't know me by now, you will never, never know me, family. I'm Coffey, Wright. You don't have to just listen to what I say. Check my previous videos. Check me in action, family, and you'll see I walk my talk. That's for real.